What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV and Black Ops 3 First Look Reticles, the series where we take a look at every single reticle in the game. I display it for you in-game, and we review them, take a look at them, discuss how you unlock them, so on and so forth. In today's video, we're looking at all of the Reflex Black Market Reticles. These are all of the unique Black Market Reflex reticles that you can get, not including the recolorations. The first reticle that you are just seeing is the Double Down reticle. It is common, as well as all of the rest of the reticles today, except for the final pop tab. So Drop Shot that we're watching now is also common. This one is actually returning from previous Call of Duty games. It's been in a couple different Call of Duty games, if I can remember correctly. I've seen this one before. It's a pretty common one. The bottom two dots aren't really useful for anything, like the dot and the little arrow down. They're just kind of aesthetics, but the top reticle, or the top little dot, is usable. It's just like a red dot sight dot. It's nothing special. It's just very usable. So as I said, there are some different colors in the black market for common reticles. You can get different colors of the multiplayer reticles, like say you get the standard red dot, and then you can get like a blue dot, and then you can get like a green dot. I don't think you can actually get default variations for the Reflex, so that was a bad example, but there are variations in colors for other multiplayer reticles, other multiplayer Reflex reticles. We're not covering that on this channel. We're not going to be covering any of those just because they're just different colors. It really does not matter. Whereas in this series, in the black market coverage that we're going to do for First Look Reticles, we're going to be doing the unique reticles, the ones that you may not have seen before, and actually talking about the things that might make a difference when you're playing. So the next reticle that we moved on to is Peak Classic. Again, a common black market reticle. This one is one of the only reticles in the game that is green, and for that reason alone, I would recommend that you use it. A lot of reticles in this game are orange and other kind of colors like that. Orange, yellow, red, and those reticles they just get in your way a lot. They'll be really, really annoying because they blend into the environment. A lot of the environments in this game are also orange or brown or like dusty, so that orange reticles and yellow reticles blend into the background. Green, this bright green of the Peak Classic and of the weaponized 115 reticles, it just stands out compared to the background, and it's going to make it so much easier to use. Like, these are like the easiest reticles to use in the game if you have a bright green reticle. I really wish there was a way to change the color of your reticle just standardly. Like, say you want the red dot but you want a blue dot, you should just be able to change it to blue. There should be a set amount of reticle colors, but there isn't. You just have to go with whatever color you get. So Peak Classic is one of the only green ones in the game, and for that, it's definitely worth trying out. The next one that we're on to is Target Drop, and Target Drop, the clip is a little bit short, but you will notice when we get into the Recon Black Market reticles that there is one very similar called Target Range Drop. It is practically the same thing, except one has an open circle, one has a closed circle. The next reticle that we moved on to is Ranger Drop, and as we're moving into the longer reticles towards the longer clips for the reticles towards the end of this video, I'm going to explain the new format that we've kind of taken on for First Look reticles. But first, the Ranger Drop reticle, or the hot dog reticle as I call it, is what we've moved on to here. It's got gray borders. It's kind of like a wide gray outline, and then there's like this red, almost like lightsaber or a hot dog. It kind of looks like the wiener of a hot dog in the middle of the gray bun or something. I don't know. That's just what I've been calling it. It's not that practical of a reticle. If there's somebody like just below your line of sight, say you aim somewhere and you think that their head is right there and you're aiming for them, but they're just a little bit below that, this whole reticle is very thick, very hard to see through, and the gray of the bottom of this hot dog will make them unseeable. Like, you won't be able to see the enemy if they're a little bit below your line of sight, right in the middle of your optics. So that can be annoying, and it will end up getting you killed. So I would not recommend the Ranger Drop. The next reticle that we moved on to is Triforce. Triforce, the name got me really excited. I was expecting something Legend of Zelda. Not the case. It is a cool reticle though. It's very usable, except the light blue kind of blends into the Arctic maps a little bit, so just be aware of that. Now, as I said, we've changed up the format of First Look Reticles. If you've been watching First Look Reticles for a while, you may have already noticed it, but we're not doing 2 clips for each reticle when we get into the Black Market Reticles, and we're doing many more reticles in one video at a time. Basically what I did was I wanted to shorten it down because these things, there's nothing special about how do you unlock them or anything like that. You just open cases in the black market until you find them. So there wasn't any big, I didn't need 2 clips of length to discuss every single reticle. So what I decided to do was take, of the 2 clips that I've already captured, take the best one and discuss the reticle during that time. And what I've done is, well, what I started to do, I started to work on the first of the 2 Reflex Black Market Reticle videos that I was going to make, and I got the first one down to all of the footage that I needed. I got my 4 clips in there, and it was under 3 minutes, and that's like ridiculous. Like I wouldn't, personally, I wouldn't click on a video for like 2.5 minutes of content unless it's something just like majorly amazing, that's like some news break or something that covered very, very quickly. I wouldn't click on a video that's only 2 minutes long. Like that's kind of ridiculous. So I instead added the other 4 reticles from the second video that I was going to make, and now we're doing all 8 Black Market Reticles for the Reflex all at once. We're going to do all 8 Recon next, all 8 Varix 3 after that, and then there's only 2 for the Thermal, so we're going to do those as well. So that's the new format that we're running with. You're seeing clips from Renman and my own accounts. Renman's and my own accounts. There we go. The reticle that you're seeing here before we move on is the Luxor reticle. This is a pretty fancy one, and it's also common though, and it's kind of like a hollowed out kind of peak reticle or something like that. It's like a hollowed out kind of lambda shape with a bright yellow point. The final reticle that we've moved on to is the only rare Black Market reticle, and that, or rare Black Market Reflex reticle. There is 1 rare reticle in each of the categories: Thermal, Varix 3, Recon, and Reflex. And the pop tab, which is of course a pop tab up the top of your pop can, is the only rare Reflex one, and it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's very aesthetical, it's pretty easy to use. It's just a very cool reticle. We're wrapping up this video here. As I said, these have been clips from both Renman and my own accounts. All the gameplay is my own, however. That is it for today's video, guys. I'll continue to explain the series and the new format as we get into future videos. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the Recon First Look Reticles video.